Good morning, Crossing Parents. My name is Thomas, and we are making this video in order to connect you, the parent, with what your kid is learning here at the Crossing. We're staff members, but we're also parents, and we know how difficult it can be to communicate the Bible with your kiddos. So we hope this video will help make it easier, because it's a conversation that you can have with your kids on the way to school, on the way home from church, or on the living room floor. So this week, the title session is called Solomon Asks for Wisdom. The big picture question is, what did Solomon ask from God? And the answer is King Solomon asked for wisdom to lead God's people. Ask your kids what they think wisdom means. Let them lead the conversation. Let them do most of the talking. Just listen. What does wisdom mean? And if they don't have the perfect answer, then you can help them out with it. The kids will be part of a great play where the story of Solomon will come to life. And at one point, he has a conversation with God in a dream, and God asks him what he wants. Ask your kids what they would have chosen. What would you have chosen when you were that age? Can you imagine asking your kids what they want for their birthday, and they say they want clothes and not toys? I think that would really surprise me. Imagine if God asks you what you want. God has everything. Riches, he could give you whatever it is that you want. It would be difficult to ask for wisdom. But Solomon was a king, a very young king. And Solomon was a little bit worried about how he would lead this kingdom. And so he asked God not for riches, not for glory, but for wisdom. But we know that God told him, because he didn't ask for those things, he was going to get them anyway. And ask your kids, what would a king do with wisdom? How would wisdom help a king to be a ruler? How does the President of the United States use wisdom? How do teachers use wisdom? All the people that are in their lives, ask your kids what they do with the wisdom that they've been given, and then ask them how things would be if they didn't have wisdom. Like I said, let your kids lead that conversation. Let them do most of the talking and just listen. It's hard as a parent to not do all the teaching, to not do all the leading. But what we want to do is we want what they're learning here to become real to them. So by letting them talk about it, you're really letting them learn, and you're letting them let you know what's in their heart. Now, our key passage is from 1 Kings 8:61. The passage reads, "And may God be completely faithful, and may you be completely faithful to the Lord our God. May you always obey his decrees and commands, just as you are doing today." Now, imagine you're a kid and you've had a bad afternoon or a bad morning. You've had a bad day, a bad week. And all of a sudden you read, "May you be completely faithful to the Lord. May you always obey his decrees." The kid feels like he's putting on this incredible, heavy backpack. And now that he's read this, we're just adding more rocks to it. It could be a little bit overwhelming. But this is a great opportunity for you as a parent to tell them, you know what? I don't always obey God. I have bad days. I have bad weeks. There are times when I struggle with this. And what it is you're letting them know that you're human, that you make mistakes just like they do. And when you talk about that with them, ask them, you have a hard time following God's decrees. You have a hard time always doing the right thing too, right? Well, there's forgiveness. And then the backpack comes off. And you say, if you really mean it and you're sorry and you ask God to forgive you, the backpack's gone and it never comes back and God never thinks about it again. Your leaders here at the church, your child's leaders, are doing the same thing. The worship leaders, the large group leaders, and their small group leaders especially are giving them examples of Christians and how Christians should walk, but also that we're human and they're human and they make mistakes. It's difficult when a kid is sitting in a group and he thinks he's the only one that sins because no one else talks about it. But your kid is gonna learn from you that you are human, you do make mistakes, and that we're human, and we make mistakes. Have fun with it. Have a great time. Have a great conversation. Remember, let them do most of the talking. And have a blessed